When you think of winter, what comes to mind? Icy roads, frosty mornings, maybe a few chilly nights by the fire. Sure, that's part of it, but winter can also bring something far more dangerous. Unpredictable storms, freezing temperatures, and power outages that leave entire communities in the dark. Here's the thing. FEMA, the agency that steps in during America's worst disasters, just quietly updated their cold weather preparedness list. And no, it's not filled with high-tech gadgets or pricey survival gear. Instead, it's packed with simple, affordable items. Things you might already have lying around your home. But here's the kicker. These items could literally save your life when the power grid fails. Think about it. Winter storms are hitting harder and catching us off guard more than ever. One sudden blast of Arctic air can plunge entire states into chaos. Remember Texas? Millions of people were left freezing in their homes, scrambling for supplies, burning furniture just to stay warm. It's not just a one-off event. It's happening across the Midwest, the Northeast, and beyond. But here's the good news. FEMA's recommendations aren't about fear, they're about being ready. These are the tried and true essentials that work when everything else fails. No gimmicks, no fluff, just practical tools to keep you and your family safe, warm, and prepared. In this video, I'm breaking down 9 FEMA-approved items that could make all the difference this winter. Some of them might surprise you, some you probably already own. But all of them are game changers when the lights go out and the temperatures drop. So grab a blanket, settle in, and let's make sure you're ready for whatever this winter throws your way. 9 battery-powered warmth, your personal heat source. Let's talk about something most people overlook. Battery-powered heat devices. At first glance, they might seem like a gimmick, too futuristic, or just another overpriced gadget. But here's the reality. When the power grid fails and your furnace goes silent, these small portable devices can be a literal lifesaver. Now, let's be clear, these aren't designed to heat an entire room or house. That's just not realistic. What they do is far smarter. They heat you. These devices focus on providing direct personal warmth to the areas that matter most. Your chest, back, hands, and feet. And that's the key to survival in extreme cold. Conserve your body heat, not the building. Think rechargeable hand warmers, battery-heated gloves, or even heated vests powered by tool batteries. These aren't just convenient, they're incredibly effective. A single charged battery pack can provide several hours of steady heat, giving you the critical warmth you need to stay safe. And here's the best part. They're scalable. You don't need one for every person in your household. A single battery pack can be rotated between family members, each taking turns to stabilize their body temperature under blankets. It's survival by sharing, practical, not flashy, just like Grandma would have done. The danger of cold is that it sneaks up on you. Hypothermia doesn't start with dramatic shivering. It begins with subtle signs like fatigue, confusion, and a gradual drop in your core temperature. But the moment you slip a warm pack under your coat or wrap your hands around a heated glove, you regain control. Your body warms from the inside out, buying you precious hours until morning or rescue. Experts agree, battery-powered devices won't heat your entire home, but they can keep your body warm enough to fend off cold-related illnesses. And that's the point. So if you're prepping for winter, stock up on rechargeable hand warmers, heated clothing, and extra battery pack, because when everything else fails, you don't need to heat the house, you just need to heat yourself. Heavy-duty blankets, the unsung heroes of winter survival. When the power goes out in the dead of winter, your home changes fast. What once felt cozy and warm can quickly turn into an icebox. Within hours, the temperature inside can drop 10, 15, even 20 degrees. And before you know it, the cold isn't just uncomfortable, it's dangerous. That's where heavy-duty blankets come in. We're not talking about the thin fleece throw you keep on the couch for movie night. No, we're talking about serious insulation, wool blankets, military-grade surplus, or modern synthetic options designed for extreme cold. These aren't just blankets, they're survival tools. FEMA lists warm blankets as a must-have for any winter emergency kit, and for good reason. Unlike regular blankets, heavy-duty ones trap air, retain heat, and keep working even if they get damp. Wool, in particular, is legendary for its insulating properties. It works wet or dry, lasts for decades, and can make the difference between a miserable night and a safe one. Picture this. The power goes out at 9 p.m., and by midnight your house feels like a freezer. Most people would start to panic. But if you've got a real heavy-duty blanket, you're already ahead of the game. Your body heat radiates into the dense fibers, creating a microclimate under the covers. Instead of losing energy to the cold, you're conserving it hour after hour. But here's the thing. Blankets aren't just for sleeping. A heavy wool blanket can double as a ground tarp, an extra layer over a drafty door, or even padding to insulate a window. Some survivalists even recommend keeping a few blankets rolled and ready, not just for comfort, but as multi-purpose tools to shield against the cold. The danger of relying on thin blankets is subtle. At first you might feel okay, but the heat loss continues quietly. Your core temperature drops, fatigue sets in, and if you're elderly, sick, or caring for children, that small dip can quickly escalate into a medical emergency. A heavy-duty blanket, on the other hand, silently holds the line. It's not flashy, but it's effective. So, when you're prepping for winter, don't settle for softness. Choose substance. Stock at least 1 or 2 heavy-duty blankets for every person in your home. They're not just a comfort, they're a lifeline. 7. Insulated window covers. The secret to keeping heat in. When the power goes out in winter, most people immediately worry about their heaters. But here's the truth. Your biggest enemy isn't the lack of heat, it's the heat you're losing. And the number one culprit, your windows. Glass might look solid, but in freezing temperatures, it's like an open door for thermal loss. Even in a well-sealed house, windows can bleed away heat faster than you'd expect. That's why FEMA and the Department of Energy both emphasize the importance of insulating your windows during cold snaps. It's not just a good idea, it's essential for survival. Here's the trick. You don't need expensive thermal curtains or high-tech solutions. Generations before us managed just fine with what they had. Grandma didn't have fancy gear. She had quilts, old wool blankets, cardboard and tape. She'd layer her windows with whatever she could find, sometimes adding newspaper between the fabric and glass for extra insulation. It wasn't pretty, but it worked. And when the blackout hit, her house stayed warmer than the neighbors hour after hour. Science backs this up. Studies show that properly insulated window covers can reduce heat loss by nearly 50%. That's not just a minor improvement, it's the difference between shivering all night and waking up warm enough to function. The danger of uninsulated windows is that the heat loss is silent. There's no draft, no obvious sign, just a slow, steady drain of warmth. Before you know it, your core temperature has dropped, and hypothermia is creeping in. Insulated window covers act as a barrier, turning fragile glass into something closer to a solid wall. The good news? You don't need to spend a fortune. Thick blankets, foam boards, cardboard, or even DIY plastic sheeting layered with fabric can do the trick. The goal is simple: trap the air, block the leak, and keep the heat where it belongs inside. So, as you prepare for winter, don't just focus on heaters and blankets. Take the time to prep your windows. Because when the blackout stretches into days, insulated covers can be the difference between conserving heat and losing it to the cold night air. 6. Fuel-powered radiant heaters, your backup heat source. Cold isn't just uncomfortable, it's a silent threat. It creeps in slowly, numbing your fingers, stiffening your joints, and eventually reaching your core. And when the power grid fails, your furnace shuts off and electric heaters become useless. There's one reliable option that FEMA consistently recommends. Fuel-powered radiant heaters. These heaters are designed for moments when electricity is no longer an option, but warmth is a matter of survival. Unlike electric heaters that warm the air, fuel-powered radiant heaters, whether propane, kerosene, or catalytic, work differently. They radiate heat directly into objects, walls, and people, holding that warmth where it's needed most. This isn't about heating an entire house, it's about creating a pocket of warmth that can keep you alive. Why does FEMA recommend them? Because they're independent of the grid. When the lights go out, these heaters keep going. Powered by fuel you've stored in advance. Modern models are safer than ever, equipped with features like oxygen depletion sensors, tip-over shutoffs, and stable ceramic or catalytic burners. These safety measures ensure that you can use them with confidence, even in emergency situations. Picture this. It's a freezing blackout night, and the air in your home is so cold you can see your breath. You light up your fuel-powered heater, and within minutes, the chill in your bones starts to fade. Your chest relaxes, your joints stop aching, and for the first time in hours, you feel like you can breathe again. That warmth isn't just physical, It's emotional. It restores your hope and gives you the strength to face the night. But let's be clear. Safety is non-negotiable. Always keep these heaters at least 3 feet away from flammable materials. Ensure proper ventilation and never refuel them while they're still hot. Follow the manufacturer's guidelines to the letter, because a mistake here can be life-threatening. Fuel-powered radiant heaters aren't about luxury, they're about survival. Blankets can conserve heat, but these heaters create it. So, if you're preparing for winter, stock up on propane canisters or kerosene. Learn how to use your heater safely and make it a key part of your emergency plan. When the grid fails, that small flame could be the difference between despair and survival. 5 emergency food packs. Fuel for your body. Hunger doesn't hit you all at once. It starts small: fatigue, shaky hands, a foggy mind. By the time you realize what's happening, your energy is gone, and in a winter blackout that can be dangerous. That's why FEMA emphasizes the importance of having shelf-stable emergency food packs as part of your winter preparedness kit. These aren't just random snacks or forgotten cans from the back of your pantry. Emergency food packs are specifically designed for survival. Think freeze-dried meals, vacuum-sealed ration bars, and retort pouches of stews or rice. These foods are engineered to last, some for 5, 10, even 25 years, without refrigeration. They're reliable, easy to store, and ready to go when you need them most. The beauty of these packs is their simplicity. Most require nothing more than water, and many can even be eaten cold if necessary. No stove, no microwave, no power, just essential calories, protein, and nutrients to keep your body functioning under stress. Unlike improvised meals, these packs are balanced to provide the energy you need to stay warm and alert. Think back to recent disasters like hurricanes, ice storms, or the Texas freeze. Families with stockpiles of emergency food didn't panic. They had the energy to focus on staying warm and safe rather than scrambling for supplies. That's the quiet power of preparation. But don't just buy one box and call it a day. Variety is key. Stock up on soups, grains, proteins, and high-calorie ration bars. Spread them across your home, keep some in your car or go bag, and rotate them yearly to ensure freshness. FEMA's recommendation isn't a casual suggestion. It's a survival directive. When supply chains freeze and grocery store shelves are empty, hunger can be just as dangerous as the cold. Emergency food packs give you the peace of mind that no matter what happens, you'll have the fuel your body needs to get through. 4 kerosene lamps. Light in the darkness. When the power goes out on a freezing winter night, it's not just the cold that gets to you, it's the darkness. Flashlights die, batteries drain, and those sleek LED lamps we all rely on rarely last through extended outages. That's why FEMA still recommends a tool that's been around for centuries. The classic kerosene lamp. This isn't some high-tech gadget that needs constant charging. It doesn't beep, buzz, or rely on lithium batteries. All it needs is fuel and a match. Once lit, a kerosene lamp provides a warm, steady glow that can last 15 to 20 hours on a single fill. And that glow isn't just light, it's comfort. It's the reassurance that even in the darkest moments, you're not completely powerless. Think about what darkness does during a disaster. It amplifies fear, disorients you, and makes even the simplest tasks feel impossible. But when you light a kerosene lamp, the room comes alive again. Families have gathered around these lamps for generations, using them to read, cook, and share stories while storms raged outside. Beyond the psychological comfort, kerosene lamps are incredibly practical. Unlike flashlights, they can be adjusted to cast a wide light or a focused glow. Place one near a mirror, and you've effectively tripled its brightness. And while it won't heat your home, the gentle warmth from the flame can take the edge off a bitterly cold room. The best part, kerosene fuel, when stored properly, can last for years. But as with any open flame, safety is critical. Always keep lamps stable and away from flammable materials. Store extra wicks, trim them correctly, and ensure proper ventilation when in use. The real danger of blackouts isn't just the cold, it's being paralyzed in the dark. Phones die, flashlights fade, and the world feels smaller and scarier. But with a kerosene lamp, you're one match ahead. You have light, warmth, and the confidence to face whatever comes next. 3 multi-fuel camping stove. Your portable kitchen in a crisis. When the power grid fails and your kitchen goes dark, it's shocking how quickly modern conveniences become useless. The fridge stops humming. The stove won't ignite, and suddenly your kitchen feels more like a museum of powerless gadgets. That's when a multi-fuel camping stove transforms from a camping luxury into an essential survival tool. Unlike electric stoves or gas systems that rely on external power or supply lines, a multi-fuel camping stove is built for independence. It doesn't need electricity, and it doesn't wait for the gas company to restore service. Instead, it thrives on versatility. Depending on the model, you can fuel it with kerosene, propane, white gas, alcohol, or even small pieces of wood. This adaptability is its superpower. If one fuel source runs out, you can switch to another without missing a beat. Set it up safely in a ventilated area like a garage, porch, or balcony, and within minutes, you'll have a working flame. That means hot soup instead of cold beans, steaming coffee instead of icy water, and warm broth to keep your body energized. And while calories are critical for survival, the psychological comfort of a hot meal during a freezing blackout is just as important. Most people don't realize how quickly their ability to cook disappears in a blackout. Even gas stoves often rely on electric igniters, which fail when the power goes out. That's where the multi-fuel camping stove shines. It's not just a way to cook, it's a lifeline. It boils water for sanitation, prepares meals, and even provides a small but vital source of warmth. In survival situations, fire is more than just a flame. It's hope. A multi-fuel camping stove gives you portable fire on demand, and in the depths of a winter blackout, that can be the difference between struggling and thriving. 2. Thermal insulated water bottle. Warmth in a bottle. When the temperature drops and the power goes out, most people focus on external warmth, blankets, heaters, and layers of clothing. But one of the most overlooked survival strategies is warming your body from the inside out. That's where a thermal insulated water bottle becomes more than just a trendy accessory. It becomes a survival essential. Your body's core temperature is everything in extreme cold. Even a small drop of just 2 degrees can slow your circulation, cloud your thinking, and push you toward hypothermia. The fastest way to counteract that decline, a hot drink. Whether it's tea, broth, or plain boiling water, drinking something warm signals your body that it's safe and functional, helping you fight off the cold. But here's the challenge. Without electricity, how do you keep that drink hot for hours? That's where the thermal bottle comes in. With double-wall vacuum insulation and stainless steel interiors, these bottles are designed to trap heat. Pour boiling water into one, and it'll stay hot for 8 to 10 hours or even longer. This isn't just about convenience, it's about survival. Imagine this. The power is out, the house is freezing, and you're wrapped in blankets. You reach for your thermal bottle, take a sip of hot tea, and feel the warmth spread through your body. That simple act can make all the difference, keeping your core temperature stable and your spirits high. Thermal bottles are also dual-purpose. They keep hot drinks hot, but they can also prevent melted snow or stored water from freezing in sub-zero temperatures. And let's not forget hydration. In cold weather, you might not feel thirsty, but your body still loses fluids. Having warm water ready encourages you to drink, preventing dehydration, a hidden danger in winter emergencies. FEMA recommends thermal bottles for a reason. They're lightweight, durable, and reusable, providing both warmth and hydration in one simple package. In a blackout, this humble bottle can be the difference between staying warm and succumbing to the cold. 1. Body warmers. Your personal heat source. When the nights grow long and the cold seeps into your home, survival isn't just about comfort, it's about protecting your core body temperature. That's where body warmers come in. At first glance, they might seem like small conveniences, but in reality, they're some of the most effective tools for staying alive during a winter blackout. Here's why they're so important. When your core temperature drops, even slightly, your body starts to shut down non-essential functions to preserve vital organs. Circulation slows, your thinking becomes foggy, and your movements weaken. Hypothermia doesn't hit all at once. It sneaks in. The first shiver might feel like a minor annoyance, but it can quickly spiral into fatigue and disorientation. Body warmers interrupt that spiral. These small packets, whether they're chemical warmers you activate by shaking or rechargeable versions you heat in advance, generate portable warmth exactly where you need it most. Unlike blankets, which only trap existing heat, body warmers create new heat. Place one on your chest, along your spine, or near your stomach, and it directly supports the organs responsible for keeping your blood warm and circulating. The brilliance of body warmers lies in their flexibility. You can slip them into gloves to keep your hands functional, tuck them into boots to prevent frostbite, or layer them under clothing for deep, targeted warmth. Emergency shelters stocked with body warmers have reported lower rates of hypothermia and higher survival rates during winter blackout. What makes them even more valuable is their simplicity. Body warmers don't require electricity, fuel, or maintenance. They're lightweight, easy to store, and can last for hours. In a crisis, one small packet can provide the warmth you need to rest, recover, or keep moving. Think of body warmers as personal embers, small but powerful, carried against your skin where the cold attacks hardest. When the power is out, the temperature drops, and blankets aren't enough, body warmers transform from a convenience into a survival necessity. Bonus point 1. Solar-powered chargers. Harnessing the sun in a blackout. When the power goes out, one of the first things people panic about is their devices. Phones, flashlights, radios, everything we rely on to stay connected and informed, suddenly becomes useless as batteries drain. That's where a solar-powered charger steps in as a game-changing bonus item for your winter survival kit. Unlike traditional chargers that depend on electricity, solar-powered chargers harness the energy of the sun to keep your essential devices running. Whether it's a smartphone to call for help, a weather radio to stay updated, or even rechargeable batteries for flashlights, these chargers ensure you're not left in the dark, literally or figuratively. Modern solar chargers are compact, lightweight, and surprisingly efficient. Many models come with multiple USB ports, allowing you to charge several devices at once. Some even include built-in battery packs that store solar energy for use at night or during cloudy weather. This means you can charge your devices even when the sun isn't shining. Imagine this: the power has been out for days, and your phone is on its last bar of battery. You set up your solar charger on a windowsill or outside in the snow, and within hours you've got enough juice to make a call, check the weather, or use your flashlight app. That small boost of power can make a huge difference in a survival situation. But here's the key: don't wait until the blackout to figure out how your solar charger works. Test it beforehand, learn how to position it for maximum efficiency, and make sure it's compatible with your devices. And remember, while solar chargers are incredibly useful, they're not magic. They work best as part of a broader preparedness plan, complementing other tools like battery packs and hand crank radios. In a winter blackout, staying connected can be just as important as staying warm. A solar-powered charger gives you the power to do both, making it a must-have bonus item for your emergency kit. Bonus point 2. Emergency candles. Light that lasts. When the lights go out, most people instinctively reach for flashlights or battery-powered lantern. But what happens when those batteries run out? That's where emergency candles come in as an often overlooked but incredibly valuable bonus item for winter survival. Emergency candles are designed to burn longer and brighter than regular candles, providing hours of steady light when you need it most. Some can last up to 100 hours, making them a reliable source of illumination during extended blackouts. And unlike flashlights, which can fail if dropped or damaged, candles are simple, durable, and virtually foolproof. But their value goes beyond just light. In a freezing home, even the small amount of heat generated by a candle can make a noticeable difference. Place a few candles in a small enclosed space, and you'll create a pocket of warmth that can help stave off the chill. Some survivalists even use candles in DIY heaters, combining them with clay pots to amplify the heat output. Safety, of course, is critical when using candles. Always place them on a stable, non-flammable surface, keep them away from curtains and other combustibles, and never leave them unattended. Stock up on candle holders or jars to contain the flame and reduce the risk of accident. Emergency candles are also incredibly versatile. Use them to light your way, warm your hands, or even cook small amounts of food in a pinch. And because they don't rely on electricity or batteries, they're a dependable backup when all else fails. So, while they might not be the flashiest item in your survival kit, emergency candles are a classic for a reason. They're simple, effective, and always ready to shine when the darkness closes in. Bonus point 3. Hand crank radio. Your lifeline to the outside world. In a winter blackout, staying informed can be just as important as staying warm. That's why a hand crank radio earns its spot as a bonus point on this list. It's not just a radio, it's a lifeline to critical information when you're cut off from the grid. Hand crank radios are designed for emergencies. They don't rely on batteries or electricity, instead using a simple crank mechanism to generate power. Many models also include solar panels and USB ports, giving you multiple ways to keep them charged. And the best part, they're built to last, with rugged designs that can withstand harsh conditions. Why is this so important? During a winter storm or prolonged blackout, access to real-time information can be a game changer. A hand crank radio lets you tune into weather updates, emergency broadcasts, and local news, helping you make informed decisions about your safety. Is the storm intensifying? Are roads being cleared? Is help on the way? These are questions you can't afford to leave unanswered. But the benefits don't stop there. Many hand crank radios come with built-in flashlights, SOS alarms, and even phone charging capabilities. This makes them a multi-purpose tool that can cover several survival needs in one compact package. Picture this: the power has been out for days, your phone is dead, and you have no idea what's happening outside. You grab your hand crank radio, give it a few turns, and suddenly you're connected to the world again. You hear the latest weather report, learn about nearby shelters, and feel a renewed sense of control over your situation. The key to using a hand crank radio effectively is preparation. Familiarize yourself with its features, practice tuning into local stations, and keep it in an easily accessible spot. And don't forget to pair it with other tools like solar chargers and extra batteries for maximum versatility. In a crisis, knowledge is power. A hand crank radio ensures you have access to that power no matter how long the blackout lasts. It's a small investment with potentially life-saving returns, making it an essential bonus item for your winter survival kit.